Today we're going to go over pH calculations when we have the titration between a strong acid and a strong base. Our example today, we have hydrochloric acid, and we're going to neutralize that with a strong base, sodium hydroxide, and then we make sodium chloride and we make water. From what we went over last week, remember sodium chloride comes from a strong acid and a strong base, so it would have no effect on the pH. So the only thing that would affect the pH if we completely neutralize these would be the water. So I wanted to point out a couple of things on the chart. So over here we have, on the y-axis, we have pH versus the volume of a strong base added. So say, for example, if we started off with hydrochloric acid and we had 0.10 molar. And then maybe we had 10 milliliters to start off with. We will start off with that for every scenario. And then what we'll do is, for the titration curve, we'll start off with, since it's only hydrochloric acid, all we would have to do is negative log 0.1 and we would get the pH. So if we negative log 0.1, the pH would be 1 to start off with initially. So this would be 1 at this point, because all that would be in the solution, if we had 0 base added, would only be hydrochloric acid. And then so we would negative log the concentration at H plus, and then to get the pH. And then so that would be negative logging 0.1 molar. And then that would get us a pH of 1 initial, because we added no base at this point. So that's how we got this 1 at this point. So if we draw the graph here for the titration curve will be relatively flat, although it'll be increasing slightly. And then once we get to the equivalence point with the strong acid and strong base, we will show why it will be a pH of 7. And then it will kind of do a little reverse like this. So we have a steep curve here. And this point here, where we have the pH of 7, is the equivalence point. And remember, the equivalence point is where all of the acid, all the moles of acid, and all the moles of base get neutralized. So how do we figure out the equivalence point? Well, here, let's take a look here. So if we take a look, we have 0.10 molar, and then since we have 10 milliliters, we'll convert that to liters. And so we have 0.0100 liters, or 0.010, because that was 10 milliliters. And if we multiply these, we end up with 0.0010 moles. Okay, because that was just multiplying the molarity times the volume like we did before. The mole ratio is 1 to 1. So then that means that these two should be the same. So that we should have 0.0010 moles of the base that would need to get neutralized. And then since we want to find the volume here at the equivalence point, since neutralization is the equivalence point, so when they're both neutralized. So let's take the moles and divide it by the molarity, because remember, molarity equals the moles per liter. And we have the moles right here, and we have the molarity. So we have the moles and we have the molarity. So we want the volume. So let's just take the volume in liters and take the moles divided by the molarity. All right, so if we do 0.0010 moles divided by 0.50 molar of the sodium hydroxide, so that's moles per liter. The moles will cancel out, the liters will flip up on top, and we end up with 0.002 liters. And then if that's milliliters, that's actually 2 milliliters. And then I discounted the sig figs, I'm sorry. So if we originally started off with 10 milliliters of acid, and then it would take 2 milliliters of the base, because the number of moles would be equal. So this volume over here would be 2 milliliters at the equivalence point. And then we would have those there. So here the pH would be 7, because what would happen at the equivalence point? Then all the moles would cancel out of each of those, because what would happen is if we took each of these would both be limiting. And then what would we be left with? We would make 0.0010 moles of NaCl, and then we don't care about the water because the water is a liquid. So even though it does generate some moles in the reaction, for acid base, we don't care about the water, how much it makes. So we'd end up with 0.0010 moles of NaCl, and then that's what would be left in the solution at the equivalence point, because at this point, all the acid and all the base would get used up. So then, since we only had NaCl in the solution, then, like we had talked about before, when we have a salt that comes from a strong acid and the anion comes from a strong base, then the pH is neutral, so it has no effect. So if we have basically a 0.0010 mole divided by, and then we added 10 milliliters and then 2 milliliters, so this would be really 12 milliliters or 0.012 liters. Whatever the concentration was, still would have a pH of 7 because the NaCl would have no effect on the pH, and so it would be neutral. And that's why with the strong acid and strong base titration, we have a pH of 7 at the equivalence point. We can find the pH along any of these other points, and so I'll do a couple of them for practice. So for this setup, let's say, let's figure out what the pH is when we added 1 milliliter of the base. So over here we have 0.010 molar, and we have 10 milliliters. And then we're going to take, instead of 2 milliliters, which was the equivalence point, we'll take 1 milliliter of base. So all this is now is just simple stoichiometry. So let me go ahead and show you just another variation, but you can always use the other way where we convert to liters. So here I'm just going to keep the milli and multiply those. And what happens is when I multiply them, I'm not converting the milliliters to liters because I'm going to save a step. I'll show you why in a moment. So if I multiply 10 times 0.1, I end up with 1.0, and then I'll keep the milli from here, and then molarity times volume in liters. Molarity times volume equals moles, so this would be millimoles. So this is 1.0 millimoles. Now we do the same thing over here. 0.5 molar times 1 milliliter. So 0.5 times 1 is 0.50. And then this would be milli and then moles. Because remember, molarity times volume equals moles. Because moles over liters times liters equals moles. So if we kept the milli, like in milliliter or milliliter, then it would be millimole. All right, so now what happens is this is simple stoichiometry again. So which one would be limiting? The limiting reactant would be the sodium hydroxide. So minus 0.50, minus 0.50, and then we end up with 0.50 millimoles of HCl left over. We'd have no sodium hydroxide, and we would make 0.50 millimoles of NaCl as our product. Now, like we had said before, the sodium hydroxide we won't care about because basically this has no effect. Let's just say no effect on the pH because it'll still remain neutral. So we don't have to worry about this part in terms of determining the pH. For the pH, what's left over? We have HCl. So all we have to do is figure out the concentration of HCl. So the concentration of HCl would be now after it got neutralized, or after some of it got neutralized, we have 0.50 millimoles divided by then the total volume. So we took 10 milliliters and we added 10 milliliters of the acid to 1 milliliter of the base. So we'd end up with 11 milliliters. And now if you take a look here, we had 0.50 millimoles and 11 milliliters. So we can actually cancel out the millis and we end up with moles. Now we'll just do the division, 0.50 divided by 11. And we end up with 0.04545 repeating. Okay, and then this would be molar for the HCl. Now at this point then, How do we find the pH then of the solution? Now the solution is only this concentration of HCl plus the sodium chloride, but the sodium chloride, remember, doesn't matter because it's neutral, has no effect on the pH. So all we would do is then we would figure out what the H plus concentration is of this HCl, and remember it fully dissociates. So the H plus concentration, the hydrogen ion concentration would be exactly the same. And then we would just negative log this number. So let's go ahead and negative log 0.04545. The pH would equal 1.34. So at this point right here, this would be 1.34 for the pH. Remember, at this point, the pH was 7. And so you could do the same thing along any of the steps along the way like we had here. What would we have left over? We would have excess acid, the hydrochloric acid, and then we would just follow the same steps that we have here. Now let's do the last step where we end up with, let's do the last example where we end up with more base. So we know that the equivalence point was 2 milliliters. So let's make this 2.5 milliliters and see what happens. So we'll use the same starting concentration, same starting volume for the hydrochloric acid. Then we do the same thing like we did here. So we have the sodium hydroxide, 0.5 times 2.5. So we'd end up with 1.25 millimoles. Okay, now which one is the limiting reactant now? The hydrochloric acid, since it's a 1-to-1 mole ratio, would be the limiting reactant. So we'd use up 1.0 millimoles. And since it's a 1-to-1 mole ratio, we would use 1.00 millimoles of hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide. And then we would make also 1.00 millimoles of the sodium chloride. So then we end up with no hydrochloric acid left over. Now we have excess sodium hydroxide, and then we made the NaCl, 1.00 millimoles, which, like we talked about before, we don't care about in the pH because this is a neutral salt. So this would have no effect on the pH. So let's take a look here. Now we have the sodium hydroxide. So like we did before, we found the concentration of hydrochloric acid. So now in this case, since sodium hydroxide is left over at 2.5 milliliters, which is somewhere around here, we'll take the sodium hydroxide and we'll take the millimoles or the moles. So 0.25 millimoles, and then divide it by the total volume. Remember, the total volume is how much acid and base we added together. That's 12.50 milliliters in this case. We're going to take 0.25 millimoles and divide it by 12.5 milliliters because that's the total volume. We get 0.02 molar. We have molar, 0.02 molar, because the milli and the milli cancel out here. Last move, just like we figured out before, the sodium hydroxide is a strong base, so it'll fully dissociate into the hydroxide in a 1-to-1 mole ratio. So hydroxide will also be 0.020 molar. The last move is then we need to find the pOH and then the pH. Calculate the pOH is 1.70 if you're checking. And then because we negative log 0.020, and then the pH plus the pOH would equal 14. So this would be equal to 12.30. So at this point then, where we added 2.5 milliliters, then the pH would be 12.30. And you can find the pH along any of these steps along the way by using stoichiometry. So use solution stoichiometry to help you out, figure out which one's left over, and then remember the salt that we have here comes from a strong acid and a strong base, so it has no effect on the pH. So that's the reason why we only care about what's excess. And then remember, at the equivalence point, there is no excess because both the HCl and the NaOH canceled out in equal amounts. So all that's left over is the neutral salt in the solution. Hopefully that helps you out. Do a little practice along the way with strong acid, strong base, titration, and the pH calculations.